See if I can. All right. Yay, I'm live everywhere. So I got live on TikTok and I got live on Facebook and YouTube. So, yay, I am live. I am live. I am live. Outstanding. So, before anybody pops on, gratitude. TikTok is always typically first in the building. Let's see if TikTok is going to be first or if it's going to be Facebook or YouTube to see who's going to pop in first. It looks like TikTok is first in the building. Greetings and salutations, TikTok. Y'all got the first, y'all are the first in the live. Alafia. Um, Ashe, I know you're at work. So look, thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in. I am simply one, I haven't been live in a really long time. It's been a hot minute since I popped on live. And this morning, I was like, I felt like I wanted to share something that I am doing to kind of further myself in my own personal practice as well. And then Aoife's like, you should go live today. And I'm like, oh, okay, I should go live today. So say less. So here I am going live today. So for those who are new here, hi, hello, good afternoon, good evening, good day. I am Ianifa Dania Faomi Shango, Ifa priestess and spiritual awakening doula for the African American diaspora. I help people, specifically in the diaspora, cultivate a more nourishing, loving relationship with the Most High. Hi there. That is founded in self-love and honoring of the self as a means to come closer to source. So I have so much things going on. So I'm going to just start with the first topic at hand, which is, as the subject line of the live says, 30 days of Odu. So this is what I have been doing. So for those who are new, they don't know much about the tradition. I'm going to break this down in a way where anyone could understand it. Today is Oshe Ogun's day anyway. So Ashe, and if you can't see, I'm rocking Ogun today. I have on Ogun, and always Eshu is present, and I have on Ogun and Ochosi. So yeah, if I feel really kingly today or a little bit more of my masculine, that's probably the why. It's probably the why. It's venerating Ogun today. So being a Ianifa, being a priestess in the tradition and someone who does divination, it's sometimes it's just simply not enough to kind of have a general idea of Odu and things of that nature. I am a beautiful afternoon. I'm a highly skilled oracle and medium, and my relationship with the Odu is most intimate. That being said, thank you for the likes. I don't know if it's YouTube or Facebook, and I can't see Facebook comments for some reason, but thank you for the likes, and thank you for the likes on TikTok as well. So every once in a while, I feel like I need to, I always want to come back as a perpetual student and go back and study. When I very first came out of initiation, what I did this for like maybe 6 months. It might have been shorter, but I'm gonna say I think months, where I divined every day for myself. Every day I divined. Every day I divined. I wanted to see how the Odu manifested, see how they shaped, see how they unfolded. So for those who are not in the tradition, fairly new in the tradition, things of that nature, I'll give you an analogy, a comparison from like a way to just kind of understand, and it is very, very oversimplification. The Holy Odu is their holy scripture of the Orisha tradition. And so the Odu is simply a collective of the different scriptures, proverbs, parables, energies that are used in reference to divination. So if you receive an Ifa divination, someone should mention an Odu to you. This is how you know you got a D5 divination, because they'll say the Odu that showed up is something to, and they'll give you the Odu. So that should be something that happens. And each Odu, even unto themselves, is also an energy. It is a living being. It's a divine essence. So having this relationship with the divine essence of the scriptures themselves as living, breathing, constantly evolving, changing, growing, and manifesting energies is important. And my knowledge or understanding of just from a metaphysical level, so just a surface based metaphysical understanding of Odu came very natural to me. It came honestly for myself a little scary natural. It was really easy for me to pick up, boom, this is this one, this is that one, this is this one, this is that one, this is this one, this one's that one. This is on high level, this is what this is talk about. High level, this is what talk about. I've been able to do that since before I initiated. I've just been able to understand. Post initiation, I wanted to try to get a bit deeper. So what I did is for months, I sat and I divined for myself every day, every morning, sit at the altar and divined for myself so that I could see the Odu and how it was likely speaking to me throughout the day. So it's been a while since I did that. And as I have been allowing my practice to grow and me deepening my relationship with Ifa and the Orishas, especially now that I have godchildren, I have, decided that I needed to spend some more time. Like that was a choice. I wanted to spend more time with Odu. I wanted to spend more time with her and the manifestations of her that are the scripture. So I'm doing 30 days of Odu. So this is something that I do periodically. It's kind of become a thing, like at least some point I will do this where I will just sit in divine every day for 30 days and see how things are unfolding, manifesting, and what happens also in the following of the Odu. And I couple that with my Orisha deck and doing an inspired action. So I always, I like getting inspired action for the day to see what that looks like. And what has been really dope is because, hi, what's been really dope is that the way, I've had these for a minute. I actually bought these before I even thought about initiating. I've actually had these for a very long time. Agbo Ato Cezanne. I do an inspired action to see, what that's going to look like. And so what's been really dope is the inspired action echoing my Odu. That has been the absolute coolest thing to watch unfold is my inspired action literally mirroring my Odu. Hey, Rumi, literally like mirroring my Odu. And so I was like, I would love to share how things are going because I just started. Has it been a week yet? Hold on. I don't know. Hold on. I think I stopped counting. Yeah, I think I stopped counting. So I think it's a little over a week. Agbo Atomo. Agbo Ato. It's nice to see y'all. Thank y'all, all my lovelies. So I wanted to share just a couple things that just really, I just want to share how cool it was and the way spirit moved. Also because me divining every day is part of the reason why I made some changes to my business. So for those of you who are very new and are just completely new here, when I started my business in 2021, pre-initiation, one of the hallmarks of my business and even what I do is my tarot reading. Like that was the thing that I started with. It was my very first divination tool. That's the thing that I started with. And one of the Odus that I received was a call to, it was, which one? Hold on. Because I've been writing every day. Like when I say every day, like every day. So it was Ika Okanran. And what it talks about is that increase in your ashe leading to new opportunities. And it was reminding me to use my gift intelligently to evoke change in my material life. So I'm getting ready to go into a new year. It's going to a new year, new things, new collaborations, things like that. And also a need for me to streamline my business. And the way that I ended up doing that was sitting, I was like, okay, there's a new opportunity, new things that want to come to me. There's new things that want to be born, want to be birthed. And then there's also this need for me to think about how I'm doing things. So I was like, what is it? What's being asked of me? Because this particular day, it was really loud that the ancestors wanted something from me. They wanted me to let something go. And so I sat and I was like, I asked my Ori, I said, well, what is it? And it was very quiet, but it was present. And it was like business. I'm like, okay, so what part of my business do I need to let go of? And then I felt the cards. I was like, oh no. Like, so here I go. Grab the shell, shake them up, shake them up, shake them up, shake them. It's my tarot cards. But it's not that I have to let go of tarot completely. But for me, there was still a grieving process that I had to allow for because it was something that was always present. It was like I always have this other option available for people. And realizing the people that I am most called to support, to be of service to be a light for, are people looking for me as Ianifa. That's who they're looking for me as. It's not that I don't have people that want tarot readings, but the people that book tarot readings, they're looking for the sale. They're looking for me to run the little quick, I'm going to go live for a little while, shoot me $25, $22 or something, and I'll read you real fast. They're looking for that. Or they're looking for me to put something like, hey, I got 10 spots, cash at me, I'll inbox you a recording of a reading. That's what they're looking for. But the people who actually want and it's not that my tarot readings, because I don't know how to do a basic reading. That's the other piece of it. I don't know how to do that. Even through tarot, I don't know how to do a basic reading. I'm divining, period. I'm divining, period. So there was a need for me to take what I did and mold it in a way that was most intelligent. What I get booked for, what is offering a way for me to pay bills, what is helping me get back to the place I was before I laid off is Ifa. That's what's coming up. And it's funny because I always get the Odu that says, your chosen career is Ifa. Like it always comes up. Your chosen career is Ifa. That's what you are being called to do. Your chosen career is Ifa. That's your career. Your side hustle is tarot. Your chosen career is Ifa and your side hustle is tarot. So my site, my business is going to reflect more of my career. Every once in a while, when I feel called to, and I'll do something before the end of the year too, because I haven't in a minute, throw a special out there for tarot, that's cool. I'm still going to pull cards for myself. But in terms of what is my career, what is available at the garden on a regular and consistent basis, it is Ifa. And going through that process through divining every day. Because what happened is then you get the message. So you get the message. However you divine, you get the message. This is what needs to be done. This is what's being asked of you. This is what it's being called to you to let go of. Okay, cool. All right, bet. So I let it go that day. Like I didn't even wait. I went ahead, grabbed my either my laptop or my iPad, went into my dashboard where I have all my services, and I didn't even hide it. I deleted it. I needed spirit to know of the level of trust because I easily could have just hid it and then y'all don't see it from my site. And that means I can bring it back every once in a while on my website. It's not ever going to be on my website. It's just not. If you're on my mailing list, you might catch an email that says, hey, first 10 people, you get a reading for such and such. You might catch one of those. But in terms of you being able to go to my website, click on something and book a tarot reading, I removed it the same day. And it was like, okay, alrighty then, cool. And the need for me to push through and maintain a positive attitude was, what did I need to overcome? Because this is something that has been, that's what I did. That's what I did. That's what I did. And it was so funny because I get this divination, and then the card in my Orisha deck that comes up for my inspired action is the 7 of Discs. And the 7 of Pentacles is typically a card that people talk about planting seeds and watching a watch pot, watching it boil over. But in this particular deck, it talks about losing something. In this particular deck, the 7 of Discs has like these seeds that you planted over here, but the other person is reaping the benefits of them. I've got these seeds over here, and whatever time I plant these seeds, they grow over there. So I think about how that looked, and how the fact that the tarot has never been something where I could count on probably one hand the number of times someone actually paid full price for what I actually charge for a tarot reading, as opposed to my E5 divination, where I almost always have someone pay full price. The tarot readings have always been something where I've only been able to generate true income if I discounted the reading. And Spirit has been telling me they got to pay what I'm worth. They have to pay what I'm worth. So I was like, okay. So when the card comes up, I'm like, so it's something I got to let go. There's something that's being lost, and I need to ask what's next. So I'm like, okay, I already know tarot is leaving. So that means something's coming, because there's always something coming. So what's the next? What's the thing that's coming behind it? And it's OB divination, which tried to come up before, because even one of my godchildren was like, what do you charge for OB divination? I wasn't offering OB divination. So here it goes, that increase in Ashe offers new opportunities. Oh, okay. So now I got to sit with Spirit. Now I have to sit with my ancestors, because again, when you think about your Isheshe, which is more in line with the tradition in which I was crowned in, you have to think about which primordial energies, which precursor energies, where do you go to first? It's about it's not necessarily like a hierarchy, like who's in charge, but when you're thinking about a situation and who you need to go to, who do you need to ask, who do you need to pose the question to, who do I go to first? And it was funny because I was asked recently when doing divination with my shells, who am I addressing? How do I know who to address? By and large, more often than not, it's almost always my Ori. Because if you want something, you inquire of your head first. So I always inquire of my Ori first. Then it depends, but I've also learned now through doing this over and over again, who wants to speak. So when it comes to practical matters that have a spiritual influence as well, my ancestors are almost always, we have business meetings. The ancestors and we have full-blown business meetings. So when I was like, okay, we're letting tarot go, boom, what's coming X? And the moment I heard it, I asked my Ori, is this in alignment for me to offer this as a service? Yes. Okay, cool. So now I know it's in alignment. What do I need to charge? The ancestors always are the ones to answer, because they remember exchanging goods and services. They remember receiving payment in some capacity for something that they were offering. So it's almost always my ancestors who come through to help me concerning how much my services cost. Yes, my spiritual LLC is going through yes, absolutely. And my ancestors are always the one when that happens. It's always them. It is always my ancestors who confirm everything. So understand, every price currently on my website was divined over. It was not simply me sitting someplace and putting some random numbers. There isn't a single random number on anything that I charge on my website. everything from the cost of my elecades, from the cost of oils, for the cost of what I do for a candle working, for the cost of meditation, for the cost of Reiki, every service, every product, everything on my website, I divined first before I put the price on there. Why? Because one, I have a giving nature. I have a very giving nature. Oh, wow. I have a very giving nature, and I want nothing more. Yemoja. I was reminded by a very amazing Babalawo this morning that Yemoja is all about the being of service. And it reminded me of my initiation, what said I need to set boundaries. It's like, yes, be of service, be mama, be big mama, but you also need to have boundaries. You also need to have boundaries. And for me, it is allowing myself to hold space in a service capacity. And it's 3:33 on the clock, at least Eastern time anyway. Hold space in that capacity and know that what I do adds value to people's lives. It helps bring about change and transformation for those who are willing to put in the work. And thus it is worthy of there to be a financial exchange of energy commensurate with what value that I have. And for me, I'm always trying to figure out how, like, if I teach you how to feel your intuitive yes, the voice of your intuition is the voice of your Ori, which is the aspect of you remembers that it is God. Your Ori is the part of you that remembers it is God. So what is the value? What is it worth for me to teach you how to talk to God with nobody's help to get a clear yes or no answer? What is that value? Somebody tell me a dollar number. What is that worth? How do I put a price on that? How do I put a price on that? I don't know how to do that. It is like almost next to impossible, because what that means to me is like immeasurable. So how do I do that? And then I'm Black. If y'all can't tell, if y'all can tell, it's not like I've got a year-round tan. I'm Black, y'all. And I'm Blacker than Black, like 90-something% Black. Considering this, especially where I live, which might be the reason some other things are coming up, I see people in need. Like I'm really Black. It's like, and I see them, and all I want to do is help them out. All I want to do is I can see you. I can see you. I got big Scorpio energy. It is my dominant sign. To say it's not in one of my 4 primary placements, it is still the biggest energy in my birth chart. That means I can see you and see right through you, even when I'm not trying to read you. I see you. And I can see the area of opportunity. And I can know what it is that it's going to take for you to resolve that area of opportunity. But it is not meant for me to be Captain Save-A-Ho. I can't save everybody. And everyone is not meant to, like, it's not meant to happen. It's not meant to be. The people who are meant to receive the medicine the way that I administer it, because it's not simply the medicine. Like the people who are meant to receive. I'm so done. But it is. For real talk, but it is. And today I'm sitting with Ogul. It absolutely is. Like, it's not meant to. The people who are meant to receive the medicine, I am realizing it comes easy for them to come to it. It is easy for them to come to it. I ain't begging nobody to be in my mentorship program that's there. The people in my mentorship program right now, I didn't have to convince them. There's a couple in here on TikTok. There might even be a couple watching on YouTube. They can confirm. I ain't trying to convince them. A couple of them, I told them, leave. And if you still feel like you want to come to me, come back. I I do the marketing and the business thing and like, hey, I'm out here and available. But to say I'm recruiting folks, that's just not what's happening. Those who are meant to receive not simply the medicine, but the wet medicine in the way that I am meant to administer that medication, the medicine in the way that I am meant to administer that medication, because the medicine of Ifa is the medicine of Ifa, but the way that it is administered, the way that that medicine is given varies from physician to physician. Please, somebody put an ashe in there if y'all understood that. The medicine of Ifa is still the medicine of Ifa, but the way that that medicine is administered, it's like the bedside manner admits that physician is administering that medicine is going to vary. So the people, right, we don't do the door-to-door sales. Like, so those people who need to receive medicine from me in the way that are meant to receive medicine from me, just come. Yeah, they got to know I'm out here. So I put myself out there. I have several of them that will share my posts and my content and plug me, and I appreciate that greatly. I understand that the people who are meant to receive it understand right now that I have currently maybe 16, 17 godchildren right now, thereabouts. Of those that actually live in the city from which I live, that means they can come to my house, just drive 20, 30 minutes, they come to my house and knock on my door. That's it. I almost 20. Ain't but three. I have currently, I've had my Facebook for umpteen years. I have literally only had my TikTok maybe two. They're about the same in terms of head count. I just crossed 1,000 the end of last year on TikTok. And TikTok is where 90% of my godchildren came from, is TikTok. And like, of them, of my godchildren, only one of them did I actually know prior to initiation. That's it. Everyone else, I just met them cats. Everybody else I just met. Only one of them is someone I knew prior to. Everybody else, I just met them. So being in a space of understanding that I am only meant to administer medicine to certain patients. They have to, one, be willing to receive it. I'm not force feeding anybody. Right. Like, since only one, and that's been since Black Planet. Like, only one, and they've been there since Black Planet. I can't keep begging folks who I see need the medicine and would actually benefit from getting the medicine from me. I can't beg them to take their pills. I can't beg them to drink their castor oil. I can't beg them. That's not meant for me to do. That's not me moving in alignment with who I am. It's not meant for me to do it that way. When I put it out there, put the energy out there, I was reminded yesterday of letting my that part that, like, Black Planet still functions, don't it? Like, I should check, all of us should check our logins. But reminded letting my Iwa Pele speak for itself. Like, letting my Iwa Pele speak for itself. Like, you can Google me. You can go Google the business. It'll come up. Go Google the business. Go read some reviews. What they say is much better than anything I could say. Their experience is worth more than anything I could say. them sharing their experience worth more than anything I could say. And so much of it is beyond simply me doing tarot. So I had that moment. I let it go. I sat with the ancestors. I even asked about certain things like like I'm still doing candles, yeah, because my hoodoo ancestors, my root working ancestors, like, oh no, Charlie, you still doing the candle stuff. I'm like, okay, all right, that's cool. You still oils, okay, cool. Everything tarot was the only thing I needed to move because I needed to make space for the way I'm moving beyond simply an elay. I am moving beyond simply having an elay. Why I look so bright right now? Moving beyond that, we finna grow. And it's interesting because I know that call was coming before I even thought, like, let's be honest, I wasn't thinking about having an elay. Let's be honest, I wasn't thinking about having godchildren. Was not on the radar, not in my plan. Not in my plan. I had done what I felt like I was supposed to do. I went and I became an Ianifa. And I was completely comfortable divining for myself and spending time with Ifa by myself. Sometimes it just ain't your plan. Or rather, it's always your plan. Let me qualify that better. It is always your plan. So let me scoot close to you. Let me scoot you real close to y'all. Let me scoot you. It is always your plan. It's always your plan. See, the idea that it is God's plan and God's plan only, again, separates you from your accountability. It puts control in someone else's hands as if you are not the co-creator in your creation. The plan is always yours. That part. It's always your plan. You may not be aware that it's part of your plan, but it is always part of your plan. When my Ialode says to me in the very first divination, not even initiation, the very first divination, she says to me, not only are you going to initiate, you are also going to be a priest. But I didn't argue because there was nothing in my being saying she was wrong, not even my ego. There was no aspect of my person that said she was wrong. So then we go to, okay, I'm a priest, but in name only. And it's like, okay, you got to do the thing to be like, you got to do something with it. I do. I am. I'm taking care of me. Now you got to do something with it. I have had courses, programs, courses organized and built on my website for 2 years now. Courses, full blown, fully realized courses on my website, 2 years. Even brought them out. Like, hey, I've got this course. I got this course on this and this course on that already on my website. They have already been there. They have already been there. Because once again, Suman keeps telling me, Ifa is your career. So even when I felt like I was going to bring up mentorship again, because that was what was coming up in my Odu, it's time for you to start mentoring again. Okay. And I knew this was about bringing people to themselves. And in that journey, realizing that journey to themselves is also leading them to that journey with Source. So I already knew that. So initially, the course was just called From Self to Source. But I also realized there were aspects of what I had gone through with Ifa that I wanted to layer in and make part of the course. But I also knew that I didn't write the course to recruit people to Ifa. I wrote the course to allow Ifa to be a structure. Self-love is the foundation, Ifa is the structure, but you still have to build your own house. Self-love is a foundation, Ifa is the structure, but you still have to build your own house. That's all I'm giving you. I ain't giving you no furniture, no walls, no nothing. You still got to do all that. You still got to do all that. So anybody can take the course. You don't have to want to go into Ifa and get the medicine that is imbued within the course. So I have several who also call me their godmother who are not, at least at this point, planning to initiate, not even getting their hand. They want the medicine of the course and they see the benefit of Ifa even without having to initiate. And that's all I thought it was going to be. Until my first two, Agbo Ato, Miss Jackson, the first two said to me, "You're supposed to be my godmother." This was not a word that I had not, that was not what I was going to say. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "I think you're supposed to be my godmother. I've been looking for a godmother." And one's like, "I've been looking for godparents." And I'm like, so here I go, because I got to do divination, because again, not on my radar, not on my conscious radar anyway. My Ori is like, "I've been steering you this way." Like, I've had it on the radar. You just say, like, you weren't looking at the dial. You didn't look at that dial right there. I've already had it up there. You just haven't been looking at it. You haven't been reading the dash correctly. Do the divination? Yes. Oh, come on, dog. Okay. All right. All righty then. So I just listen and I pay attention and I listen to the Odu, and I don't take the Odu simply at surface level, but what is Odu trying to tell me? How do I apply this to my life in a way that is practical and aligns with what's happening right now? So I recently asked about a temple because I was just like, I had to have the conversation with someone like, what's the difference between a temple and an Elay? Like, really, what's the difference? And it's the openness. So for those who don't know, I had been hosting Soulful Saturdays with Orisha. I had been making space already for just letting people who were, whether they were in the tradition, not in the tradition, but just simply wanted to experience what veneration and prayer and Oriki and things like that with Orisha was like. I had already been doing that. For art, by and large, that was my ministry. And that was the word that kept coming, was this is your ministry. So I was technically already doing it, but I still wasn't thinking I need a temple until the word temple was brought to me more directly. And then I'm like, and it's one of those things where you hear it and it's just, okay. So you do your, you sit with spirit and like, what are you trying to tell me? So I ask, and I am a nerd. So, and I will encourage y'all who are not in the tradition, or even if you're in the tradition and you're getting divination, you should write them all down. Because had I not written mine down, I wouldn't be able to do what I did. This particular morning, I divined on it. What does it look like for me to have a temple? Got my Odu. All right, so when should I let this all unfold? The Odu I received is the very first Odu. It was an Odu I received in my very first divination. So in the course of the conversation in my very first divination, my godmother gave me an Odu. And when this Odu dropped last week, I said, I know that Odu. And here I go, looking through my many journals, flipping through the pages, and sure enough, there's the Odu. Now, I asked a particular question. I said, is this particular day, so I'll just tell y'all, February 2024, is that a good time for me to launch having a temple? The first thing she said to me in the particular Odu, Alafia, God, sis, the first thing she said to me when she divined that day was, it is the right time. You are in the right time, doing the right thing in the right place. I just want y'all to hear me again and see how the oracle speaks. Even if it wasn't like that, still spoke in the way it was supposed to speak in that moment. In the moment, I'm sitting there and I'm asking a question about time. She could have given me the message she gave me that day in a variety of different ways. But the first thing she says to me is being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. So then again, this Odu comes up And I'm asking it as a question of time. Is this right? Is this a good time to do this? And that's what I receive. And so instead of looking at anything else, I went to where the answer was in the way that I needed to receive it. And I'm like, all right, bet. Okay. Okay. So if y'all been getting divinations, y'all not writing them down, write them down. Even if you don't understand Odu, just write them down. Because if ever at some point you come into the tradition or you're studying and you're learning Odu, you'll need it. You will absolutely, you'll need it. So that's why for these 30 days, I am like not only writing down what I get, but also journaling about my day. So even like a day like today, where it told me to avoid conflict. And which was interesting because it's avoid conflict on Oshe Ogun. I am wearing my Ogun Ilekes, and Ogun does not actually like conflict. Like, yes, Ogun is considered to be the Orisha of war, but like really all Ogun wants to really do is chill. Like, just can I just chill? Can I just chill? Like, I would really love to just be chilling. If y'all leave me alone, I can do that. It's just be chilling. So to get an Odu today, which actually had Ogun in it, to say, avoid conflict today. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So what does spirit do? Like, hey. There's a reason I told you to avoid conflict today. Because it's coming. So understand, this is the other thing about when you get divination. Divination doesn't make things happen. Exactly. Divination does not make things happen to him. Dad, can we just talk? Like, can we talk for a minute? Like, can we just chill? Can we just talk? So, divination doesn't make things happen. Divination gives you a heads up of where the wheel is already turning. It's already turning. This energy is already present. This energy is already present. What happens if with divination and prayer and things of that nature is what is the medicine, the salve, the ointment needed to apply to an already brewing situation so that it mitigates any negative outcomes from that. It's like, hey, heads up, avoid conflict. What does that mean? It doesn't always mean that I don't pick no fight with nobody. That's not what that means. It doesn't mean like, oh, thank you. It doesn't mean that it's telling me, yo, don't be like 3-6 and be out in the club shaking my dreads like knuck if you buck. That's not what it's trying to tell me. It's telling me that if something comes to me, no, not today. Come to it in a different way. Peaceful, like, just chill. And recognize when you're in a space where, oh, I might want my Aries moon to act up. My Aries moon want to act up. I got an Ogun moon. Like, my Aries moon want to act up. Today is not the day. Okay. So it was interesting because I recognized, I'm like, all right. Cool down. So I threw on some blue, blow out of my head. I don't need anybody to be about it. It's like, but it's cool because it's like I already got the foreshadowing. The foreshadowing already happened. So now I can just be like, oh, that's why you told me that. Okay, bet. I'm good. I chill. I'm good. It's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy, baby. So it's like, that's why doing it daily is a benefit to me, because then if someone else I'm doing divination for gets this Odu, then I can tell them this is not simply don't you pop off at people, like instigating. This is you don't react. This is you being prepared that someone like oh here they might be here, and I'm asking you don't pick up the machete. That's what I'm telling you to do. Don't pick it up. It's Chelsea's day, dude. Don't pick up that bow and arrow. So Chelsea's day today too. So don't pick up the bow and arrow. Just like the hunter energy is live and in living color. I need you to not need you to be cool, calm, chill. What's really cool is of my E-days on today, that are associated with Orisha, because I have one that's not specific to Orisha on today. I've got Ogun on, I have Ochosi on, of course I have Ifa on. But today, even though it's not their veneration day, my two waters wanted to be on. I was like, all right, it's cool. You want to rock with like no legs, but the E-day is like, well, I gotta keep that hand. Keep it cool. So I love that. And I love that even like today, where Ifa is like, you need to talk about Ifa. I haven't been live in a minute, and it was really strong, like, heck yeah, talk about Ifa today kind of response. Even my Orisha deck, I wonder if it's still at the bottom if I shuffled it out. I might have shuffled it out. No. So I got the message that I needed to talk about Ifa today. That was the message. You need to talk about Ifa today. That's what you need to do. That is the ask. So that's what the Odu gave me. So I get my inspired action. What is my inspired action today? What it look like they're doing? Kind of look like they're talking to people. Kind of looks like they're standing in front of people talking. You ain't even got to read tarot to get it. Like this person is standing in front of a crowd. You ain't got to know how to read tarot. This is just an obvious. This person is standing in front of a crowd. So now I look at my Odu and the message that I received from Ifa. And now I get this additional confirmation. It's like, yes, you need to go on ahead. And talk, lead, because this is also a card of leadership. You need to lead. You need to stand in the front or sit, as it were, in the front and lead and teach, whatever that it looks like for you. But that's what you need to do today. So here I am. Hey, hi, how are you? Leading, it's doing the thing and doing it in my way. Because Wand's energy is creation energy, but it is a level of authenticity that comes into play when you get to the king and the queen. It's about doing it in a way where it's your authentic self. Not feeling like that I need to be something, look a certain way, dress a certain way, speak a certain way in order to validate who I know myself to be. The fact that I have my little white scarf on is not just because I'm an Ianifa and I should have white. No. When I feel like I need something white on my head, I put it on. I easily could have grabbed that white Yankee fitted up there in a closet and put that on today. And there's at least one recent video where I'm rocking it quite nicely. I've done divination in that hat. I've also sat at the park with my big white flowy skirt and my little white top and a big giant white sun hat. And I'm like, well, that doesn't look very priest-like. Why not? It looked like me. It looked like that's what I felt like wearing that day. It looked like my Ori was cool with it. It looked like I was comfortable. And you still got that work regardless of what I had on. You still received the medicine. The medicine was still administered. You were still able to receive the medicine. And it had absolutely nothing to do with whether or not I put on a costume of what you would perceive an Ianifa to look like. I don't want to wear an Ianifa's costume. I don't want to wear that. I don't want to cosplay as a priestess in an African tradition. I don't want to do that. I like crystals. I like them very much. I like head wraps on other people. Let me say that again. I like head wraps on other people. I've probably wrapped my hair, like really wrapped it, and like where I wear it out, like once or twice. It ain't me. It ain't me. And if it's not going to be me being my authentic self, I am not walking in my Iwa Pele the way Olodumare asked me to. I'm not being who the creator decided to incarnate to be and walk in this earth. I'm trying to pretend to be somebody else. I'm trying to pretend to be some. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's why when I got out of initiation, I purposely divine for 6 months. Divine for 6 months, but in that course of that 6 months, I always pulled one card from my Orisha deck because I wanted to prove to myself and anyone that asked me that at the end of the day, the creator is going to speak, period. Period. The message and how the message is administered, how it is communicated, what mechanism it comes through to you is going to vary. But understand, we don't do God only has one phone number and God only speaks one language. We don't do that around these parts. The creator of all existence, this world, that world, the other worlds, this dimension, that dimension, other dimensions, other timelines, other realities, is not limited in expression and communication. She is fluent in every language, every divination tool, and will ensure that those willing to hear, see, receive are able to get the medicine in the way they're able to get the medicine. Period. Point blank, period. So for me, I love watching how everything moves and is nuanced together. So what is today? Thursday. So today is the day of Jupiter, growth, expansion. My Odu today says Ogunda Iwori, and it is removal of obstacles leads to transformation. And what I knew is that I already removed obstacles. So that means I was in a space of transformation. I was in a space of expansion, Jupiter. I'm in a space of expansion. Iwari also is a reference to our transformation having to be supported by Ori. And if you think about your Ori is a remnant of your own inner sun. Well, then today is perfect for me because it is my personal Sunday because I was born on a Thursday. So on my personal Sunday, which for me feels like the sun conjunct Jupiter. So my brightness, my shininess, sun is also leadership and being upfront and being seen. So that Ifa telling me it is time for you to go up front and be seen today. Maybe there's somebody who I'm meant to touch today virtually that needs some expansion. Maybe there's somebody I need to give some expansion to. Maybe there's someone that needs, like, I need to like virtually touch somebody. So to encourage them to remove obstacles in their life that is preventing their transformation. And a lot of times that obstacle is us. A lot of times the obstacle preventing our growth, our own expansion, our transformation is us. It is not someone hexing us. It is us hexing ourselves. I just told my godchildren they're not allowed to speak negatively when they come in our sessions. It's just not allowed. Like not allowed. We don't do self-hexing around these parts. So you can't speak negatively. Not in front of me, you won't. Not in front of me, you will not. You won't do it. When we look at today and me asking Ogun to help me wield myself and him helping me swing it. I'm not asking him to cut the obstacle down. I'm asking him to stand with me and we swing this together. We swing it together. It's not him swinging the axe. It's not him cutting it down. I'm cutting it down with his help with the swing. I might need a little help. I need a little, I might, what is a little, I might need a little more pull back. I need to pull back a little bit more. I like really setting myself in my swing a little bit more. And so he helps me to swing most effectively at what is standing in my way to my joy, not just my growth. Like, understand, you don't have to get it out the mud. You over there in the mud, and Spirit's telling you there's this lush piece of land and grass and flowers and trees over here that has what you're looking for easily. It's right there at the top, already grown. But you still operating in a space that tells you that your worthiness is only predicated by how much trauma and how many wounds and how much mud you can dig yourself out of, when the Most High is like, but I want to go over there. I want to go over there. Why won't you listen to me? Well, that feels easy. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be easy. Out, like, who told you it has to be hard? Well, so and so said, and did you ask your spiritual core, is there an easier way? Or did you simply ask them how to get through trauma? Did you ask them, hey, what can I do to have ease? What's that look like? A lot of us that look like me, our ancestors already know what trauma and wounds and hard work look like. They might want us to say, hey, can you ask for ease? Can you ask for ease? Can you ask to get it easy? I was, again, I got to tell somebody, I'm quoting them, like this is twice down the line, asking when we're doing our prayers and what we're going to do with the prayer and what we need it for. So asking for, the example he gave me was about a car. And like, you want the money because you need to either get a car, buy a car, fix a car. And you articulate in your prayers, like, hey, I need this money because I want to do that. So in this particular scenario, you want some money for your car. I need some money so that my car can get back on the road. I need money because I need my car back on the road so that way I can do what I need to do. I need to be able to transport my children to their various therapy sessions. I need to be able to run to the store when I need something. I would love to be able to go travel and do so without having to rent a car. That's why I need money. That's why I need my car back on the road. Then you communicating clearly the ask of what you want this blessing for, then you need to be open to how it's going to manifest, because you might be asking for money and all of a sudden somebody just shows up and is like, hey, I'll fix your car for free. Well, that's not hard at all now, is it? Hardest thing you got to do is say yes and what time you coming. And for some of you who are so attached to the fact that it has to be hard, I can't possibly, why can't you possibly get it easy? I don't have to get the money. I just need to like have it easy. The sacrifice is your ego. The sacrifice is your ego. The biggest sacrifice is you getting out of the own way of your blessing. The sacrifice is ego. And I don't mean ego in the sense like, oh my God, I have to obliterate your ego is supposed to be there. Your ego is the helicopter mom looking out for your highest good. Your ego is not something you're fighting against. It is to get you to trust your Ori. The mission is to have your ego and your Ori speaking the same language. It's to have them speaking the same language. It's not to obliterate your Ori. It's so that your Ori, the helicopter mom, understands that Auntie Ori is also working for your highest good. Helicopter mom is not trying to hold you back. No, I'll say it like this. You are continually sacrificing the fears of your ego for the genius of your Ori. That's what you're doing. You're sacrificing the fear of your ego for the genius of your Ori so that your ego will learn to trust your Ori. That's the goal. My ego and my Ori more often than not are speaking the same language. They want the same things for you. They simply want it in different ways. Helicopter moms want their kids to be safe. Helicopter moms want their kids to be healthy. Helicopter moms want their kids to be happy. So them constantly saying, oh no, Billy, don't go do that, is not because she doesn't want the child to have fun. She is concerned about the safety of the child. And because she's never seen her child do that thing, the only thing she knows is the possibility of injury. So that's where she's focused. Whereas our Ori is the aspect of us that realizes its oneness with source and its limitless nature. So our Ori can actually see that you're not actually going to fall and hurt yourself. Your Ori can actually see if you go ahead and move beyond the fear and go into the face of your genius. If you go into the face of your genius on the other side of your fear, because fear is not something that you stay in. You acknowledge the fear. There is medicine in the fear, but if you go ahead and take the medicine and move past it and go into your genius, then your Ori shows your ego, see, I'm not trying to harm them. I'm trying to help. And the more and more you trust your intuition and do that, the more and more you trust your intuition, because when you're in danger, your Ori and your ego are in alignment. When there is danger, they are both giving you the same signal. They are not in conflict. If there is a conflict, fear and danger do not feel the same. Thank you for the roses. Fear and danger aren't the same emotion. They don't feel the same in your physical body. Danger is a clear. Well, hello, South Central LA. Fear and danger don't feel the same. They are not the same emotion. They are not the same physical reaction. So when it's danger, trust and believe your ego and your Ori are on the same page. Like, hey, don't go over there, homie. The energy is off. the energy is off. The energy is off. Don't go over there. That's not what you want to do. Don't do that thing over there. It is not what you want to do. Fear and ego. The ego and your Ori will let you know simultaneously. You in danger, girl. Like, they will let you know. But fear is, I've never done this thing before. I've never moved in this way. I've never thought in this way. I've never talked in this way. So what's going to happen? I've got an idea and I really want to do it, but what if nobody likes it? Well, I don't want my feelings hurt. And your ego is like, I don't want your feelings hurt either. I want you to be happy. So let's not do it. So you don't have to worry about your feelings being hurt. And your Ori is like, your feeling might hurt for the moment, but it's going to hurt worse if you never realize your full potential. Your Ori is like, it might hurt for the moment, but I promise you, you're not going to die. You are going to move past this momentary sadness to realize the perpetual happiness of you standing in your most authentic self. Being open to that process, being able to walk with full audacity as who the creator created you, embodies you, realize that you're walking around as the embodiment of source energy, who that energy decided it wanted to be as you. And then you get this lovely homogenous thing starting to happen. And then ego and Ori are just working together. And it's not always that way. There'll be those days where your ego is like, Ori, you crazy girl, we're not doing that. And your Ori is like, but I thought, I mean, you want me to do what now? That's a huge ask. But if you have been walking in your Iwa Pele and you just say, ego, I acknowledge you. I understand your fear. I understand this is the reason why you feel this way. But I promise you, if we do this in this way, there's nothing to be afraid of. And this is where realizing you are the sovereign in your spiritual court. This is where realizing the sovereignty of you and your spiritual practice is that you are the sovereign. When you realize you are walking around as the Most High in human form, then that means clearly you are the sovereign in your spiritual court. That means your spiritual team is like you. It's like you're an author sitting at the round table. So it's you and your spiritual team. It's you and your spiritual team. Talk to them. And understand it's the lack of communication that has things going willy-nilly where you don't really know what's happening. I knew Spirit was telling me to leave my corporate job. I knew it. I could hear it loud and clear. It was showing in everything. I'm looking at my birth chart, looking at the fact I'm in a Uranus opposition, and Uranus is sitting there looking at my workhouse like, we about to shake up your job. And I'm sitting here looking at God like, what you about to do to my job? And I could feel the discomfort. I could feel the squeeze. Yes. Yes. I'm like, I could feel the squeeze. Like, I don't like it here. I felt I was a square peg in a square hole, and all of a sudden my corner's starting to round out, and I don't feel so square anymore. I feel like a circle, and circles want to stretch out. Circles want to stretch out, and I can't stretch out in this square hole. So I sit with Spirit. I sat with God, and I said, hey, look, I'm not ignoring you. That was number one. Number one is I'm not ignoring you. And I'm clear. I know you want me to leave my corporate job. I know it. However, you see them kids in there? I got 2 babies, both of them with special needs. They got to go to therapy and all this other stuff. See this car, this house? I got to be able to pay for that. I got to pay for these things. Now, if it was just me, Lord, understand. I go ahead and quit that job and go stay with my mama until I got the business off the ground. But I need money. See, some of y'all think like the creator don't actually see the economy, and so you can't ask for money, but as if God can't see it. You closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. So I said, I see this. So what did I ask for? I said, in order for me to do this, what it is you were asking for, I need at least 6 or 7 months of income so I can start working on my business. Now, I probably should have asked for more. I probably should have asked for like a year. Realistically, but you don't know until you know. So I'm like, I need at least 6, 7 months, Lord. Can you help me out? Every divination after that is don't leave your job. This is not the time to leave your job. I'm still in the squeeze, but Spirit is like, do not leave your job. This is not the time. And I'm not even asking about it. It's just one of those like, FYI, this is what you asked about, but also right here, don't leave your job. Don't talk about leaving your job. Just chill. That's what I did. So for a year and some change, I just chilled, kept doing my job, but message kept coming through to me. Homegirl came up to my house. She had bought a candle and some oil, and she and I are talking about work. And she used to work at the place I worked at. She says, you ain't supposed to be in corporate America. Okay. And she says, not only are you not supposed to be in corporate America, but you ain't got long. You got a few more souls to touch, but you ain't got long to be there. And I'm like, and it was so specific in how she said it, you have more souls to touch. And so afterwards, coming as your full self, I work at corporate America as a project leader. Coming as my full self, I had a project group with a private chat. Guess what they started getting in the morning? Channel messages. I didn't tell them that, but that's what kept happening. I'm channeling messages, giving them affirmations and words of encouragement every morning. First thing in the morning, here goes some words of encouragement. Here goes some channel messages. Here goes some words of encouragement. One of the last things I did was someone randomly reached out to me. I don't even know how she found me to help her with a project. And we ended up just, talking after the meeting. And she said, I don't know what you do outside of here, but this ain't it. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. She said, you're supposed to be helping people, because I felt one way. And since speaking to you, I don't even remember what was stressing me out. Okay. Cool beans. Cool. When I left my last job, I was laid off. It's been a little over a year. Laid off with the severance package that was about 6 months. Y'all remember what I said? I told God that I needed 6 months of income for me to leave. And that's what I needed. I needed 6 months of income for me to leave. So God was like, say less. I got you. Waited till after my 10-year anniversary so that I would be eligible for a severance. Waited for me to be after my 10-year anniversary. My 10-year anniversary was in June and October, which is a month of endings and new beginnings. That's when I got laid off. That is when I got laid off. It's like, okay, it's time. And I'm like, oh, snap. Okay. Alrighty then. It's only hitting me now, the numerology, that I'm in a 1 year currently, and Octobers are always foreshadowing the next year. So I was laid off in October, which is the foreshadowing of my now 2023, that the only job I would have would be my business. And as of right now, someone says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" I am an Ifa priestess. That is what I do for a living. That's what I do. That is what I do full time. There might be some other things I do on the side, but full time, that is what I do. But this was a conversation. Ego had a very valid point. I got kids. So ego was like, I don't see quitting the job as being the right thing to do. And my Ori was like, you know what? I kind of don't disagree with you. So here's what we can do to make sure that what is aligned in your destiny takes place, but it takes place in such a way to ensure that the moving pieces don't adversely make things happen in your life that create hardship, and allow things to do so in a way that allows for ease to unfold in your life. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to be hard. You have to be able to listen and trust, and then communicate what it's going to look like for you if you need it to be easy. But we're so more accepting of it to be hard. We just allow the hard to happen. And it's like, Oya doesn't necessarily want to just bring the winds of change and destroy everything. She'd kind of like you to stand in the eye with her. She'd like for you to stand in the eye with her. As opposed to being whipped around by the winds by her, she'd like you to stand in the eye with her and wield the change. You wield the change. Just like you wield to remove your obstacles, you wield the winds of change. You know what needs to be changed in your life. You don't have to wait for it to become, you feel it. You know it's coming. And even if you can't make a move right then, verbally articulating, I know this is what's being asked of me, and I would like to answer the call. And this is what I need in order to answer the call. And I would love to see this, and this take place. And I got you. I got you. And then you have to move. See, when they go ahead and say, okay, this is what you need, boom, here you go. Say less. Well, now your offering is to move. That's your biggest offering, is to move. Most times your offerings are not tangible things. They are things that are in your Iwa Pele. These are character things. These are action steps. It is time for you to move. Those things show more devotion, because those things say that you are moving in accordance with your destiny and your highest self, which is the ultimate goal for any member of your spiritual court, whether it is an Orisha, an angel, an ancestor, your Egbe, an Enteru, a Loa. All of them working for your highest good want you to move in accordance with your destiny. That's the goal. That's the purpose. It's not about you putting a bunch of plates and things on an altar and you still don't move. They would much rather see you fill up a fresh glass of water and then move. They'd much rather have that, because those energies are not simply energies you're experiencing in nature, they're you. So when you are not moving in accordance, it's not about scaring somebody like, oh, you're going to be disrespectful to them. You're being disrespectful to yourself. You are doing disrespect to yourself. The negative blowback of you not doing the thing is not that energy doing something to you. You made the choice. You made the choice to not. You made the choice to not act, or to act when you were told to be still. You are the one hexing yourself. If you are told to be still, sit down, don't move, and then all of a sudden, like, it was something as simple for me as, it's not a good time for you to be out at night. So you know what I didn't do? Take my trash to the curb, because I didn't think about it until late last night. And I'm like, oh, snap, I got to take my trash cans out. It's like 9 o'clock. It's dark. I'm not doing that. I don't know why Spirit told me not to go out at night. And yes, that's just simply in my yard. But you know what I didn't do? Take out my trash cans last night. I didn't move my trash cans to the curb until I saw sunshine over the trees. Because you know what? I don't care why. I don't care. I do not care why. I don't need to know why. All I need to know is I'm not dealing with it. Hi. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. Something so simple, like don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Something as simple as, don't wear that color. It's prayer, songs, just a general conversation. Like if someone was to watch me not in a mode where I'm doing Oriki, it is generally me sitting like, hey, I got a question. Or hey, is that so and so? Is exactly. If Spirit says don't go, I'm in the house. Like when I tell you I divined or working back in that office, and every time, no. I don't know what to tell you. But if I gotta choose between listening to you and God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta stay to the house. No. Mm-mm. I even asked about going back to corporate just for a different company. I asked about going back to corporate. No. And I couldn't get an interview. Please understand, my resume is magnificent. The lack of being able to get an actual interview is nothing but the intervention of the divine, because there is no mundane reason why I could not get an interview. I share that's your resume? What in the resume is immaculate. That's why I still offer resume services on my website, because my resume skills are immaculate. I share that's because that's what your heart, your Ori is like. I want you to do that. I want you to do that for me. That's what I want you to do. I want you to do that thing for me. That's where your light is. That's where your favorite self resides. That's where your favorite self resides. And I know that what me, priestess, priestess is just a title. When I think about the crux of what it is that I am being asked to do as my career, for a living, for my life, to be a healer, even though sometimes I shy away from the word, that's what it is. Like to be a healer, to be a teacher, to be a healer, to be a teacher, and to be a witch. That's it, those three things. When I think about those three things, as a little girl, what I wanted to be when I grew up was a doctor, a teacher, and the most powerful witch in the world. That's what little girl me wanted. And now big grown me honors my inner child, honors my Ori, is honoring the creator, because that's exactly what I am. When you just just nuts and bolts me, that's exactly what I'm doing, what my little girl self wanted to do. That's what little girl me want. Like, now I will say little girl me probably didn't see this, because I am an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius, and this here, this right here, this being in the front of the peoples and being looking at the peoples. Yeah, no, that's some Leo energy that Aquarius does not always subscribe to. But I am now progressed to Leo rising, so I guess. And Leo rules the place where I make money, so I guess. But you ask the Aquarius little girl, she's like, I'm just not going to do it in front of people. I'm going to do all those things, but behind the scenes, because being in front of people feels very Leo, and we're not comfortable always in that energy. But that's also the energy we're supposed to embody with our Aquarius self. And I'm like, okay, all righty then. All right, so you're listening. I'm listening. And sometimes a misstep, like, understand, there's going to be times where it's like, ooh, that's not quite what you meant, was it? Okay. You can't pull a fast one on God. You can't. It's impossible. You can't pull a fast one. And the way I see it is every possible pathway, decision, outcome you could have ever thought of is in the book of your destiny. So meaning even that knucklehead that you dated for a little while and you're like, how did I even do this? I did something wrong. You can't do anything wrong. You can do something that's not the most positive path, but the idea of wrong, like you made a mistake, indicates this was something not written in your book of your life, of your destiny, and that's not possible. You simply chose a path that did not align to your highest and greatest good. So the moment you stop beating yourself up for making a mistake, not possible. Simply, I need to rerouting. GPS is now rerouting. That's it. GPS is rerouting. Stop beating yourself up. I don't know who that is. Stop beating yourself up. You didn't make a mistake because it's not possible to make a mistake. A mistake, this was not written and you did something that's a surprise. You can't surprise God, so that means it's technically not a mistake. Oop, I didn't see that coming. Not likely. So like, you didn't make a mistake. You are simply had some moments where, you didn't listen to your intuition, or you didn't listen to your Ori, or whatever that looks like for you. You went left and they were trying to tell you go right. Okay, cool. Go back. Go. Like there's another path right up there. It's like, okay, yeah, like you went the long way around, but you're still going to get there. You went the long way around, but you're still going to get there. And just saying, hey, I'm going to listen and trust. And you have to listen and trust in the mundane things before you will trust yourself in the larger scale things. You're not going to be able to trust your Ori, your inner self, your guide for quitting your job or relocating if you won't even trust it to put your clothes on. You trying to pick out an outfit and your intuition is like, I should wear this. And you're like, but what? If you won't even trust your intuition to pick your shirt out, how are you going to have it trust you with a career? How are you going to trust it with a person? How are you going to trust it with some larger scale decisions? You have to learn to trust in the things that are just like, in a human respect, small, before you're willing to hand the keys over to your Ori to help guide you for something much larger. So even like for my godchildren, when they learn how to feel their intuitive yes, the homework exercise for them is they must use their intuition to do stuff like pick out their clothes. They have to use their intuition to choose which Walmart to go to. They have to use their intuition for the mundane task. Why? Because your life is practical and spiritual. They have to invite the spiritual in a very practical sense into their life. So trusting their intuition to pick out their clothes, trusting their intuition to decide which store to go to, trusting their intuition to decide which brand of such and such a thing to buy. Use that, doing that, the little stuff. And you're not pulling cards. You're not sitting with your ukulele. This is them understanding their internalized yes and what it feels like. So that way they trust in their inner knowing. They trust in their own knowing. They trust in their own understanding. They are leaning on their own understanding and knowing that the wisdom of the source is within them. And even if they can't access it 100%, they can access it to know that on this day, I wore this specific outfit, and that's the one my Ori is going to choose, because your Ori doesn't exist in time and space. So your Ori sees all your timelines, all your pathways, all your decisions, all the ways your destiny can unfold. It simply wants to help you find the one that you like the best, the one that's your favorite. Like, this is how all these things played out, but this timeline right here, this is my favorite one right here. I love this. This was amazing. I really want to go this way. But you won't trust it if you can't trust it in the little stuff. You won't trust it if you can't trust it on the little stuff. So then when you're like saying your prayers and, I want a new house. And so in order for me to get a new house, I need to get out of debt. And so how do I need to get out of debt? So then you're getting these ideas, these divine inspirations on things that you can do. And If you hadn't been trusting it on regular stuff, you're not going to trust the divine inspiration. You're going to be like, that idea sounds crazy. And so you won't do it. And understand, the first time you do it, don't expect this big extravagant outcome. Just expect an outcome. Don't qualify the outcome. Just expect one. Just simply expect there's going to be an outcome. It's going to be an outcome. It's going to be amazing. You don't know what the ripple effect is. You have no idea what the ripple effect is. Just simply allow yourself to have a ripple effect. Just simply allow, like, I'm going to have this particular ripple happen because I'm going to trust my Ori. I don't know what the significance is. I don't know why it's important. I have let my Ori, my intuition, drive me around town. Not in a literal sense, like I'm not sitting in the passenger seat in a literal sense, but where am I going today? I spent a couple of hours and just let my intuition guide me around town. And then normally something magical has happened along the way. Normally I end up someplace where I have to give somebody a reading. Agbo Ato Malia. I end up someplace giving someone a reading. The last time it happened, that was really cool. I ended up at Twin Peaks. And you're probably like, well, Twin Peaks is not the spiritual place I thought you was going to say. I mean, they have a really amazing fries and their wings be busting. So I go to the lake. At the lake, I'm chilling, got my feet up on the dashboard, chilling. And then it's like, I'm hungry. So then it's like, where am I going? And the thought crosses my mind, go to the Metro Diner. So I'm like, well, I've never eaten there before. Cool. Go to the Metro Diner. On my way to the Metro Diner, I see this giant stag on the side of the road coming out the woods. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And realizing that the way I normally go home was a different way. I would have missed the stag had I not seen it. This stag is important. I don't know why it's important, but it's important. I just make a mental note of it. Get to Metro Diner and there's a line outside the door. No, I like to eat and I don't want to wait that long for my food to stand in line to wait to get a table. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, maybe I'll kill some time, make a couple of TikToks. So that's what I do. I kill some time in their parking lot, make a couple of TikToks. By the time I'm done, I no longer want Metro Diner. And I ask my Ori, am I supposed to still eat here? Nope. So where am I eating? Twin Peaks. All right. I go to Twin Peaks. I don't notice it until I leave Twin Peaks. But when I parked at Twin Peaks, I parked right in the front. And in the very front of their building, it's a place, especially if you've been to a Twin Peaks before, there is a what? Giant stag in front of Twin Peaks. I didn't notice it when I first pulled up, though. What I did notice is at the table they sat me under had a deer. And so I sat down and I looked up. All right, then. Okay. So I'm sitting under the deer. Waitress comes. I've got my stuff. I got my little laptop. I'm doing some journaling. She's a really sweet girl. We talk back and forth. She comes over. I'm watching a pick a card. Why? Because I like pick a card readings. So I'm watching a pick a card. She's like, is that tarot? I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you read tarot? Yeah. She's like, you do? I said, why? You want to read? Because I travel with a deck of cards in the car. You never know. She's like, oh my God, would you? Sure. I go outside, go get the cards. I come back to the table. She looks, make sure all her people are set up. She sits down. Why her dad come through? Why are we both crying at the table? Because her dad came through. Both of us sitting at the table crying, ugly crying. I'm crying because she's crying. And also the love that I feel permeating through me. We are both sitting at the table crying. But it was everything she needed in that moment. And I feel like she must have taken my advice because I ain't seen her there since. She was feeling the way about the job. She might have quit because of something I said. She might have quit. But I was there for her. I went on my little journey, but I was there for her. That's what I was there for. I was there for her. I've had that happen twice now. I ended up at a restaurant and the waitress was in need of a reading. And so they end up sitting at my table and I end up shuffling cards and reading my waitress because they needed a reading, and this was the way for them to, get a reading. Is I came to the restaurant and I gave them a reading. Sometimes it's just that, something like that. I have met somebody at a restaurant and spoken into existence. This is where being mindful of the power of the word and how you word things. Because I've spoken someone into existence, sitting at the, restaurant, sitting at the bar. I don't drink, but I was by myself, so it's just the best place to sit if you're by yourself. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating my food on the phone with my best friend, and he's like, he said, "Are you eating by yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Are you cute?" And you know this. Not only am I cute, somebody's son is going to sit next to me. He and I are going to have amazing conversation. And if he is real fine, I'm going to give him my phone number. So he laughs, I laugh, everybody has a good chuckle. Mind you, I was not coming to that restaurant. I only showed up there because my intuition told me that's where I was supposed to eat. So get off the phone with him. All of a sudden, I wanted to clear my plates. I felt like I had a lot going on. I looked a little greedy. I consolidated everything on one plate. By the time I finished, it had been less than 5 minutes. Somebody walks up beside me. "Is anybody sitting here?" No. Tall, 6'2", about my complexion, bald head, sits down beside me. Not only do we have amazing conversation, I write poetry. He writes poetry. Now we're reading poetry to each other. We don't know each other, but we're sitting there having dinner at the bar, reading poetry to each other. He gets a dessert. He's like, "You're not getting a dessert?" "No." "You want to taste some of mine?" Why are you feeding me dessert, sir?" So now I'm getting that. Now I've got chocolate. I've got chocolate on chocolate. I've got chocolate now. So dinner's right, wrapping up. Dinner's wrapping up. And y'all go to the restaurant, they got the little thing at the table where you see your ticket. I realize they've put our tickets together. And I'm given that our back and forth banter, I could see how they could have made that mistake. So they go to him. They ask me, "No, I need a bag." Yes, they go to him. And she's like, "1 check or 2?" Before I can say anything, he says, "1." Pause. And so I look at him like, "Sir, they think our ticket's supposed to be together." "I know." "Well, since you buying me dinner at all, here you go. Here's my phone number." Walks me to my car, hugs, amazing hugs, amazing hugs. But that actually ended up being it. That was it. Later on, I had a Akashic Records reading done, and I asked about the situation, and she said my spiritual team was laughing and said it happened exactly the way that you spoke it into existence. You didn't speak anything else other than that. And I was like, "Yo, you're right. I didn't. It happened exactly the way that I said it. I said, I'm going to meet somebody's son. We're going to have good conversation. And if he's real fine, I'm going to give him my phone number." It happened exactly like that. I didn't say anything else. I didn't say he's going to be real fine. I'm going to give him my phone number, and then we're going to talk and we're going on dates and like it's going to turn into a thing. I never said that. So that's not what happened. And then say that. So that's not what happened. What happened is what I said. So being mindful of how you speak things into existence. Think about the full picture. What is it that you want? What is it that you need? What is it that you desire? How do you want it to unfold? What's the play by, as much of the play by play that you can think of. What's best possible outcome? What do you need? What do you desire? Speak that like look, exactly. I said what I said, and that's what I got. I said what I said, and that is what I received. So understanding that has been so important. So now I gotta be mindful. So same thing happened. Like I said, I was like, "Hey, I need about 6-7 months of income so before, I can quit my job. So what happened? When I got laid off, I got a severance package that covered me for about 6-7 months. Had I said a year, I might have got one bigger, because talking to somebody later, they're like, you had been at the job too long. They were supposed to give you a year. And I'm just like, and then I thought about what I said. It's like, well, okay. I should have said that different. That's okay. I should have said that different. I should have said that different. So being mindful how you use your words, how you speak what you want, what you need, what you desire into existence, and understanding that if you give enough emotion and momentum to the things you don't want, and you're speaking on those things, don't be mad at anybody but you when they start to unfold in this fashion. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Like houseway. Houseway is how you spoke it. That's how you said it. You said it. You the one that keeps saying there's pee in the dating pool. And then you keep wondering why your water tastes tangy. Because you keep saying there's pee in the dating pool. That's why it tastes that way. That's why every time you get a little water in your mouth, it tastes tangy. It's because you keep saying there's pee in the dating pool. That's why. The pee is yours. I don't know what to tell you. The reality is the pee is yours. The urine in the dating pool belongs to you. So if you stop polluting your own pool, maybe you will stop getting tangy water. If you stop polluting your own pool, maybe you'll stop getting tangy water. Just a thought. I'm not attacking you, sis. I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you. I can only, when it comes to like love and relationships, what I can say is this. One, I have actually never been the person to say all men are blah, blah, blah. And trust me, I have a lot of reason that I could possibly say that. I've also never said all women are blah, blah, blah. Yes. That's right. Tangy water. The water is tangy because of you. Like, I have always been, it's an individual. Like this person, it's them. It's not necessarily the whole everybody. It's them. This person is trash, or this person is whatever. But what I've learned, especially when you think about law of attraction and things of that nature, what I also realized is paying attention to not just the things that I dislike, but what did I like about people who I loved, was attracted to, drawn to, fell in love with. I definitely think the water is tangy. Y'all are going to like have tangy water. Y'all make sure y'all give me credit in conversations when y'all start talking about the tangy water. Make sure you give me credit. Like that's to go ahead and let me trademark that tangy water. But I realized I needed to focus and give momentum to the things that I loved. So I started speaking about the qualities of the people that I had loved, liked in my life. That what did I love about them? I'm like, okay, cool. I love that all of them love music. There is a love of music that is inherent in almost every single person that I have ever been attracted to, fell in love with. Always something about music. There has always been a creative aspect to this individual. All of them are like can cook at least a little bit. Everybody can cook at least a little bit. I don't know if I did that consciously or not, but everybody can cook at least a little bit. Everyone is reasonably intelligent. If it's not across the board intelligent, they have a special place of intelligence. So they may, like my ex-husband was really good at math. Like he could do calculations. Actually, my ex-husband and my ex-girlfriend, both of them could calculate off the dome in a way that I can only do through numerology. Don't give me no other math to do. Ask me something about numerology and I can do that in my head. But don't give me how much of these bills going to be. I can't do that. Give me a calculator. I can't do that kind of math in my head. No, that's regular people math. And I don't do muggle math in my head. Give me some spiritual math. I can do that. I can't do muggle math in my head. So something like that. I started considering the things, broad shoulders, things of that nature. What the things that I loved, enjoyed, that drew me to the person in a positive sense? What are those things? Because those are the things I would like to keep manifesting. I want more of that. I don't want to harp on the fact that this one person had really ugly feet. I don't want to keep doing that. Have to do use it. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Being able to like, yes. Yeah. Being able to like, it definitely helped me with Odoo. Like real talk, it really does help me with Odoo. If so, the person who asked about the job, um, so this is what I would say. Anytime you have something like that happen, first thing I do is start with the mundane. So here, y'all unexpected resume writing tips. So take a look at the job that you were applying for. Your resume needs to sound like that job. It's not simply about putting your work experience on there. You put the relevant work experience on there, and it needs to actually sound like the job. Why? Because a lot of companies use an application tracking system, and it's looking for particular keywords. You can Google keywords associated with that job title, and it will give you a list of keywords. Some of those words need to be on your resume. Otherwise, it will kick it out immediately. It will kick it out immediately. You won't even get to a human being because you haven't made it past the computer. The computer has already determined you're not a match because you don't have these keywords hidden on your resume. You have to have them on your resume to get past the application tracking system. Once you move past the application tracking system, again, it is about how you've got your resume laid out. I personally enjoy putting my skills and then work experience. Why? Because the skills is the most important thing. The work experience simply validates that I use the skills. But the most important thing is, what can I do? So I always have a section at the top of my resume that says skills relevant to the role. And I only list skills relevant to the role. It's not relevant to the role. They look forward to speaking. All right, hun. If they say something about references, but they don't reach back out to you, I would reach back out to them. That's one of those moments. And then also knowing the company's hiring style. So for example, the company that I last worked at, the commonality is that everyone said the same thing. It takes a long time to get an interview. And even after you get the interview, it takes a long time to get on. That was the common thread. So everyone that applies there has a certain expectation. It's going to take a long time to get an interview and a long time to get on. So I would look for reviews and things regarding that company's recruitment process to see if that's the kind of company they are, that they get a lot of applications. So it's a long recruitment process that makes that, simply indicates they're just taking forever and a day. And then you have to decide, is this the company you want to wait on, or do you want to go ahead and continue to put your resume in at other locations? And thus meaning you're going to have like 10, 15 versions of your resume, unless the job title you're applying for is identical. Also being mindful of, if you're applying for a company and applying for multiple positions at the same company, because that is the other thing that will throw up a red flag for some companies. The company that I last worked at is one of them. If they see that you have put your resume in for multiple positions, even in this economy where I just want a job, guy, I just want a job, the application tracking system is going to, and you're just not going to get through. You're just not going to get through. And if you get to a recruiter and the recruiter looks you up, and they see you in their system multiple times for multiple jobs, it's going to hold you back. It's not going to let you go through. So those are things that I would consider. Other than that, if you feel confident about your resume, then it's probably not that. But if you're like, if you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most confident, and you're not at least an 8 or a 9, I would have somebody else look at your resume. If you can have somebody at the company that works there already look at your resume and say, because they should know what the company is looking for. If you don't have someone that's able to do that, then go to a resume service. Unshameless plug, it's in my shop for 55 that I do resume consultations. I still do that. If you want to then layer in the spiritual part of it, one thing I did for my career spiritual mentorship is, after coaching on resume skills and interview skills, is turn a copy of your resume into a petition. Turn a copy of your resume into the petition, write your prayer about why you want this job, what it would mean to you to have this job, giving gratitude for acquiring this job, being open to the possibility that there's a better job for you that they will align you to, and putting it on your altar. Give it to your ancestors. And in that way, that little extra little, you might need that extra little, give it to your ancestors. Make sure you give them something to eat and do it that way. Like, do it that. But I always say, do the mundane first. Check all the things possible for reasons why they might be held up. And then also layer in that spiritual support, because even if it's not that job, your ancestors are going to imbue that resume with that extra good juju and thus help you to get the job that is most in alignment for you. You can also do things while you're in the midst of it, making sure the job is in alignment for you. Ways you can do that, because, it could be in a moment. So if you do astrology, look at your astrology transits and see where the par fortune is currently sitting. That particular theme area of life, a career that most aligns to that zodiac sign, is where you are most apt to be able to make money in that moment, in that season. So looking at those things can also help you to apply to jobs that are in alignment with you energetically. Because you may not be meant for you to be at your 10th house midheaven career yet. The other jobs that you have leading up to that give you the skills, experience, talent, all of these things to help when you get to that midheaven 10th house career, so that you are in that position and you are not simply surviving, but thriving, because that is your peak. That is your highest version and what you will be most known for. So things like, if you're like, my 10th house is in Aries. So Aries is clearly leadership. If nothing else, Aries is leadership, and it's singular. It's about the self. So it's self-employment. So leading up to that, I was a manager at Pizza Hut. I was a project leader at a corporate job. I led organizations within that corporate job for this employee resource. I, led other projects. I used to run a nonprofit organization. I used to run a LGBTQ house. So all these leadership things that I did leading up to this leadership thing that I do now, which is most what I probably be known for in my legacy. So that's some just practical, spiritual career advice that you probably didn't expect to get today. You're welcome. There you go. Okay, so I've been on here an hour and 47 minutes. So it's 5 o'clock my time. So I'm gonna give 10 minutes Q&A within reason. Any question, I'll answer it. And linger for another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to go cook so that food can be in progress before my children return home from speech therapy. No, occupational therapy. Anything, anyone, and who is it? And Mari, hope that helped. So anything, any questions? 5 minutes of Q&A before I say good day. 5 minutes of Q&A before I say good day. Oh, dang, you want to take the whole 5 minutes? You want the whole time? You want the whole entire time, Jay. So you just want only your question. Okay, so no, I don't mind at all. Before I did, Solomon, I think it says Michaela, go to, I think it's linked on my website, but you can go to my YouTube channel, Nia's Divine Garden, same name as my website. And I have a video on how to feel your intuitive yes. it's a 30-minute video. It's actually part of my mentorship program, but I put it as a preview. So it's actually a course. So if you do the 30 minutes and do the homework that I suggest, that will actually answer your question. Boom. So Jay, what is Ifa? So if I simply define it, Ifa is the wisdom of nature. Ifa is a divination system. So a lot of people use it as umbrella term for traditions that honor Orisha. But in a West African sense, it's a divination system. So it's not simply used by the people of Yoruba land. There are people in Ghana and Benin who use Ifa as the divination system. You write it in the website. I don't know if it'll let me put it in the chat because sometimes it won't let links in the chat. But it is in my. If you go to my page, my website is linked on the page, or you can message me. Send me a message, and I can send you the website, the link to the video in the chat. Just send me a message, and then when I get off the live, I'll do it. I'll put it in the chat for you. Just send me a message. So it's a divination system, but it is a tradition. It's a nature-based tradition. So as most West African traditions are, they are nature-based. So that's why Ifa is considered the wisdom of nature. So it's the divination system. It's the wisdom of nature. It's also the, I would say, nickname or moniker used for the both Orisha / prophet of the tradition, Orunmila. So a lot of times when people, if you get divination and I'd send them an email. What's the word I'm looking for? You get an Odu and they might say, something about Ifa. It may actually be speaking about Orunmila as the individual Ifa versus Ifa as either the tradition, the divination system. It might actually be speaking about one or the other. But it really is, in a nutshell, the wisdom of nature. And the wisdom of that nature is shared through the divination system. The wisdom of nature is shared through the divination system. If you can't send messages on TikTok, send it to me. My Instagram is linked too. DM me on Instagram and I'll send you the link there. Even though my Instagram has a link tree, it might actually be in my link tree. Okay, Jay, I was about to say, Jay, did they answer your question? Cool beans. I'm going to try to comment it. No, because I don't have the link saved. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram if it's not in my link tree, and I'll give you the link directly to the video. I will give you the link directly to the video. 2 good questions, and you're welcome, Mari. I'm glad that helped you. I'm glad it helped you. Anybody else questions? Yeah, 5 more minutes. Hi, Tess. Alafia, Tess. I got like 5 minutes. I'll open the floor for Q&A. So any questions within reason, and I'll answer. Any questions? Any questions within reason? Any questions within reason? I done made a whole song. Got to do better. Got to do better with my life. Got to do better. I hope y'all learned something. Like, you're welcome. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. Boop, 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 boop. Lord, it is tomorrow. It's Friday. Tomorrow I'm going to have an 8-year-old, and I don't even know what to do with that information. Tomorrow I'm going to have an 8-year-old. I don't know what to do with that information other than deal with it. Don't know what to do with that information. Ashe. Yay. Yay. Then I have fulfilled. You are so funny. I said I'm staying for like 5 minutes. So why? You want a card? Would you like me to pull a card? I can pull a card for you. Do you want a card? I'm about to say I will pull a card for you. Would you like one? Okay. So he's not going to be here in the morning. They have the ABA therapy in the morning. And depending on when their dad gets off work, it's their dad's weekend. So he might actually be with his dad. Oh, Ashay, that's so sweet to say. Yay! Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Okay. All right. All right, Antoinette. Let's see. What does Antoinette need right now? What does Antoinette need? All right, Antoinette. Let's give you something inspirational. Let's inspire her. Something that, oh my God. Like, seriously? Where is it? Okay, not that one. Not that one. All right. Do 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 do. Wait. So the visual on this card is actually somebody going through initiation. That's what the visual is. The visual is actually somebody going through initiation. And so it's got the taboos and it's got Evo like being listed. But this is okay, but this is what sticks out. I need you to look at her hair. Can you see her hair? Please tell me you can see her hair. You are not the one on the mat. I need you to see it. You are not the one on the mat. You're not the one on the mat. I asked for something inspirational. You're not the one on the mat, sis. You're not the one on the mat. You see where you at. You see it. You see where you're at. Good sis. And okay. And that's a message from your Ori. Because the back of the deck card is a page of wands. And a lot of this is like, this looked like an Evo I would give my Ori. And considering, so like, and the page of like the page of wands is like you finished one journey. So your first journey is the ace through the 10. So one journey is done. The page is this new journey, new energy, new connection. They also have Shango's Elekes on. I'm just saying. But this is new journey, new connection, right? New creation. And so this new birth, new process, because pages are very youthful energy, very young energy. So underneath, so this is behind the scenes. What's stewing? This is the energy behind the scenes. Front and center is the 3 of discs, which is all about support. This is all about support and you being reminded that you are being supported in this process. This is you being supported in what is to come and what is coming next, and understanding that in this you will also become a support for others. I didn't pick the card. Spirit did. Spirit playing in your face. Spirit is playing in your face, all in your face. That was hilarious. I just look, and I kept it real cryptic. Like if you notice, up like real, like all in your face. Like the fact that it came out with a card where someone's hair is done like yours, loud and aggressive, loud and aggressive, loud and aggressive. Like I love you though. love that. That was outstanding. That was outstanding. All right, one last question. I think I got time. Yeah, I got time for one last question, and then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna scooch. I'm gonna scooch. I will tell you what I'm waiting to see if I have one last question. For those of you who are interested, 2024 is quickly approaching, and so I am doing a collective. So I'm doing both Reiki and a collective candle working. So if you would like to join for a very nice, no, I won't say easy, but very nice distance Reiki with a semi-guided meditation, I am doing that on the 2nd. I'm doing that the evening of the 2nd to kind of kick the year off. And I'm pairing that with a collective candle working. So I'm going to do a collective blessing candle for 2024. So to join the candle working, it's only $24. If you would like to do the Reiki and the candle, you can get tickets to the event. They are $40 until December 10th. After that, they'll go to the regular price of $65, but you will automatically be added to the candle. So if you want to do both, get tickets to the event. If you only want to do the candle, then you could just get the candle. Both are currently up on my website, so you can feel free to go get tickets on the page, or you can go to the shop and just purchase the candle, and then your name will be added to the list of folks who will receive the 2024 blessings when I do that candle. And I'm gonna start the candle. I'm starting the candle on the 1st. The Reiki's on the 2nd, but I'm actually going to start the candle on the 1st. So you basically have until like the 30th to get in there. And then after that, tickets will close, that because I need time to be able to sit and write all y'all names down, all that good stuff. I got that. Those who joined late, February, the temple will be opening up. So y'all can come to services and events and things of that nature. Once I have it open, I will make a post once I'm accepting to like have like a mailing list. So that way I can kind of let y'all know, give you a heads up of what's coming. So just keep an ear out for that. Abo Shishe Baba, it's nice to see you. I am doing that. What else? That is really the biggies coming up right now. I'm super excited. Oh, I haven't posted this yet, but I am giving 50% off the first month of my mentorship program. And I only opened it up for 10 people. So I opened up for 10 people to join my mentorship program from Self to Source with EFI. And the holiday special is if you enroll now, you can get 50% off of the first month. So great little way to get your stuff started in 2024 and joining my mentorship program, especially if you felt like you could learn something from me. And I have the medicine that, let's say that it's not the medicine, I am the physician that is most aligned to administer the medicine for you, then by all means, feel free to reach out. If you're not sure, I do offer 15-minute consultations for just $20. And if you decide to book a service after the consultation, I take the $20 off of that. So if you're like, I got questions, I don't know what I need. I don't know if I need coaching. I don't know if I need divination. I don't know if I need just a spiritual bath, some Reiki, and you just want to be able to like hash it out for a few minutes to kind of figure out what service might be the best for you, even if it's not one of mine. 15 minutes, $20, and we can chop it up. So there's also that. Okay, I think I've talked my 5 minutes. I'm going to say going once, twice, and 3 times. No questions from the collective. Because if no questions, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to go throw some steak on. Throw some steak and some potatoes, some steak and taters, and some collard greens, and some biscuits. No, I'm not doing potatoes. I'm doing rice and gravy. Some steak, some rice and gravy, some collard greens, and some biscuits. Go cooking of the dinners. Everybody's good? All righty. Well, I just want to say much gratitude. It does, doesn't it? Like I was sitting, today is Thursday. So Thursday is good day for ancestor veneration. And so I am going to cook because I haven't cooked. I've cooked, but I haven't cooked in a few days. So I'm going to cook so that the ancestors and I can eat good because only one of my children eats steak. So I'm going to cook so that the ancestors and I can eat good in the neighborhood and enjoy our evening. But otherwise, I mean, unless you're one of my guide kids that I'll see in a little while, I thank y'all so much. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the five, almost 6K likes. Thank you for YouTube and Facebook even checking in. It was really dope. Thank you to Ifa for encouraging me to go live today because I don't think I was. I think I was going to just work on my website, but I really appreciate like the forum and everybody being so open to listen and learn so many new, like a lot of new. There's certain names I can recognize, but like a gang of the folks earlier today were like brand new. Like I ain't never seen you cats before ever. And the fact that you stayed and hung out and listened and felt like something I said was worthy of your time and your energy to share space with, that means a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you. And I really appreciate it. And I hope that you all have a beautiful evening. Take care. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I don't know why y'all getting closing music songs. All right. That's TikTok done.